Well, this is upsetting. I lost a lot of footage just now. I was hitting my driver, then I hit some wedges, I hit an 8-iron. So I can explain to you that after you hit your driver, you want to be able to hit your wedges right after hitting your driver. Because the majority of the time when you're playing a golf course, a public golf course, is that you're going to be in the situation where you're going to be hitting a wedge or an iron after your driver. So be ready for that and understand how to adjust your swing, because you're hitting up on the ball with the driver, down on the ball with a wedge. A couple of other things I talked about was a pre-shot routine, so I'll go through that right now. And other things to think about, which we'll talk about in another video, is how to work on the range, how to adjust so that you can get more confident. Number one, you can be more patient on the course and more meticulous. So I should have checked if it was recording. I need to do this every 5 minutes now, apparently, because it just shut me off. Okay, so when you hit a good shot, you shouldn't hit another shot within 10 seconds. I know that sounds like a long time, but it's not. So step away for 10 seconds, go through your pre-shot routine, then hit your next one. You hit a bad shot, step away for at least 20 seconds and completely look away, reset your mind, and start over again. Now my pre-shot routine is all behind the ball. Stand behind the ball, I focus on my target, I have the right club, because I have the right yardage, I have the right club, I know what swing I'm going to put on the ball before I even step up to it. Full steam ahead, 80%, whatever. Fade, draw, knock down, high, whatever you want, whatever your skill level. If you just want to simply say, I'm just going to hit this full, that's fine. But know your yardage of your clubs before you get out on the course. It's so important to know when you're standing over a ball so that you feel confident and you're more likely to hit a good shot because you're not uncertain about the yardage. So, and it's even harder if you're uncertain to shut that out when you're over the ball. So for those of you who are beginners, try working on that when you're at the range. So my pre-shot routine is behind the ball. The little circle, the huddle. And it's my thinking circle. This is where I think about everything. What do I take into account? Wind, temperature, lie, all of that. Where's the flag? What's the green look like? Hazards. I think about all that stuff behind the ball. After I've thought about that, the second I step out of that thinking circle, I'm done thinking. And I've moved on to execution of actually making contact with the golf ball. So, what that means is, and I'm still recording, thankfully, what that means is, here's my circle, right here. This is where I think. And then the second I step out of that circle, I'm not thinking anymore. I'm done thinking. I line up, find my line. You just have to go with it. Trust your gut. And that is pretty much right at the side of the plane. Oh, how does that miss? Maybe it was short, I don't know. I'm not really concentrating too much on yardage today, but that's kind of the gist, right? We'll do it again with a 9-iron. I'll do it real quick. Think about your line, set your aiming point, you know you have the right club, you know the type of shot you want to hit. Now all you got to do is just move your body to do it. It. And that's going to get you right on the target line. Oh, right next to that little pin that I was aiming at. Beautiful. It's like a 5-foot putt for birdie. All right. So a couple of other things. I don't remember what I talked about because I was talking for quite some time and I was not recording, and I really, really wish I could see if I'm recording, and I probably should flip the camera the other way, but at this point, too bad. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. So, a lot to think about when you're out on the range, and you want all of your mechanical thoughts to be on the driving range. Again, I'm going to try to create an organized list of videos to go over with you guys, but this is sort of my introductory video where I'm just freestyling. I'm laying everything out on the table here and talking through what I feel and how I go about my first range session. Let's just say, for example, this is the first range session of the year. All you should be thinking about is getting a good tempo in your swing. That's it. I don't care where the ball goes. I don't care how great the contact is or how bad the contact is or how far it goes, especially how far it goes. Think about those things. Concentrate on your feel and your tempo. So here's what we're gonna do. Last 3 balls, we're gonna simulated like par 5, okay? Simulated par 5. Let's see. Depending on where this ball goes, tells me the lie I have to give myself with the other 2. We have to pick out our fairway. So the fairway is going to be just to the right of that plane, and then I don't know if you can see, but let's just say the other yardage marker just to the right of the plane. So, I'm on a tee on a par 5. You always want to try to kill it. Just put it out there. That's all you gotta tell yourself. No matter how far you hit it, closer to the hole than you were here. So that's gonna be just on the right side of the fairway. Okay. So now I have to hit 6-iron, get myself to within about 100 yards of the flag because I don't know why, just because I feel like it. I want to explain why, but I feel like it's too much information. Yeah, give me a second here. Okay, I got the 6-iron, right? Alright, 6-iron, let's say the plane is the direction of the green. I have to get it out there around the plane. Oh my gosh, I can't follow the club head tonight. I'm so tired. Alright. Follow that line, direction. Oh, it's just to the right of the plane. It's not bad. Probably about 5-10 yards to the right of the plane. Not terrible, but let's say that puts me 100 yards out. Now, why? Let's just say it. I just want to say it, and I will talk about it in another video. Why did I just say I want to set myself up for 100 yards? That's because when I was at the range before this simulated round, let's just say I was at the range on this beautiful golf course. And I was on the range and I'm hitting some shots and I'm really liking how my sand wedge feels. I'm like, man, my sand wedge, I'm throwing darts with this thing. Get that club in your hands as much as possible when you're on the course that day. So if you want to go for the green in 2 on the par 5, fine. If you can get there in 2, awesome. But weigh that into your equation. I feel so good with this sand wedge today, and this is my 100-yard club, that I'm going to hit it. This is a club that I'm going to hit today. So get yourself in the position to use it. So let's say I'm like 105. Man, this club feels so fantastic in my hands. I just love it. Throwing darts with it. I dropped about maybe 10, 12 feet to a little past. Maybe about 5 feet to the right and about 10 feet past the target, which is fine because I haven't really hit this at all in quite some time. But for the sake of example, my 56 is the club that's best going to put me in a position for a birdie putt. And that's the most important thing. Get yourself set up for that birdie putt, or the opportunity for par. You don't need to put that amount of pressure on yourself, but it helps to be able to give yourself the opportunity to get a birdie, to have the opportunity to have that birdie putt. It's a way to manage your round better. So I know a lot of people talk about those things, but I think I cannot harp on that enough. When you are out there on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, you're out there, hit all your wedges a couple times. Hit about 10 balls per wedge. Which one feels the best? Or maybe hit 9 balls. Hit 9 golf balls. Hit 3 with a half swing. Hit 3 with like a 3/4 swing, and then hit 3 full. What feels the best out of all of those? And then if you don't know because you're too close, like they kind of all feel similar, try hitting them again. That was terrible. One more. That was so bad. Okay, here we go. Last one. Whoa, I could bounce. I haven't done that in years. That was great. That felt freaking great. So maybe this is my go-to club when I'm out there, but get yourself set up. Meaning, if you're on a par 4 and you hit your driver and it gets you too close, hit your 3-wood. If you're confident in your 3-wood off the tee, but get a club in your hand that's going to get you to have your weapon in your hand. You should have at least one weapon in your bag. And you want to get that weapon in your hand as much as possible. So do whatever you can to get that weapon in your hand, because then it will give you the ability to get closer to the pin and lower your scores considerably. Course management, don't just mindlessly hit a driver off of every tee. If you need to hit an iron and set yourself a little further back, 150 yards in is you're deadly from there, then put yourself 150 yards out. People think the closer you are, the easier it is. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. People say the closer to the hole, the easier it is, and that couldn't be further from the truth. You could be 40 yards away from the hole, but you cannot. There's so much finesse that happens within 100 yards of the hole. Play a whole round where you keep yourself out of the finesse range. If you're confident in your short game and your finesse, then use that feel and work through it. But if you're not, then do not. Please refrain from putting yourself in those positions. You're 62 yards out. What club are you hitting from 62 yards out? How far back are you taking that club from 62 yards out? Unless you're going to the range every day with 100 golf balls, and you hit 100 golf balls from 10 yards, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or even 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and all the way back to 100, and you spend all day on the range every day doing that, then I can say, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Trust your finesse. But if you're not going to have finesse. You're not going to know how hard to swing it to get the ball to go exactly 43 yards on a 43-yard shot. So I found myself to do better at exactly 100 yards out from the green. I've always found myself to do better from 100 yards. It's a flat number, it's a full swing with a sand wedge, and I don't have to worry about adjusting my power. Because when I have to worry about adjusting my power, then my swing gets thrown off, I screw up my contact, I hit it thin, I hit it fat, I pull it left, I push it right. It's much easier to get yourself in that position to hit that approach shot into the green, knowing your yardage and knowing that you were in this specific area of this club full speed. I want to talk about that a lot more, but you have to simplify your game to the point where it's full swing into the green with a specific club that's in your hand. I'm not talking about professionals. I'm talking about amateurs. I'm talking about people like myself and others who have higher handicaps than I do and who have maybe lower handicaps than I do, but that not finding themselves on tour. If you don't have that finesse at 40 yards, then push it back to 100 and find your flat club yardage. What if your flat club yardage is 60 yards, someone might say? Okay, 60 yards it is. That's as close as you want to get. Now, obviously not considering your approach shot into the green might push you 10 yards to the left or right of the green. Then you have to worry about finesse because you missed the green. I'm talking about approach shots. The shot you hit to get you onto the green in regulation. That approach shot is what I'm talking about. Figure out what those clubs are. Zero in your yardage early in the season. It's different every season. Zero in your yardage. That's so important. Once you've zeroed in your yardage and you feel like you're a little consistent, and I don't mean an exact yardage, it could be a difference of 10 yards. You could hit your sand wedge 80 yards to 100 yards. 20-yard difference, it doesn't matter. You at least know within that 20 yards, this is your club. So there are a lot of things to think about, but I just wanted to put a lot of this out there. I'm going to listen to this and maybe have some more commentary in the future. So thank you for watching. I'm still recording. Whew. Anyway, joining me from Big Swing Golf Club, the driving range in Sewell, New Jersey. It's nice. You've got double deck driving range. I think they just put some simulators in there. You've got a downed plane and plenty more fun stuff. So come on out to Big Swing Driving Range. You'll have a blast. All right, have a great night, everyone. Play well.